Eliana and Brady walked cautiously on the shimmering path across the sea. As they approached the hidden island with the shell in Eliana's grasp, the island seemed to grow larger under the moon's silver glow. When they reached the island, they found it was wild and untamed, with dense forests covering every part of it. Eliana and Brady could feel an eerie sense that they were being watched, but they pushed forward, driven by this mission the shell had sent them on. The shell hummed softly in Eliana's hands and felt like a comforting presence in the unfamiliar place they found themselves in. As they explored, Eliana suddenly heard a rustling in the bushes. As they looked up and saw the same tall, skinny old man who had confronted them just the day before at their house. He was back, and he was still following them. His eyes were gleaming with greed as he snarled, "Hand over the shell, child, and no harm will come to you." Fear gripped Eliana, but the shell whispered courage into her heart. She could hear it say, "Run to the cave by the cliff." And without hesitation, Eliana and Brady dashed through the underbush, with the greedy old man following close behind. And after running for a while, they reached a hidden cave and saw its entrance was covered up by hanging vines. And when they pushed through the vines and got inside, they saw that the cave was filled with plants that were glowing as they lit up the entire cave. They could see everything inside there. But soon after they got inside, they could hear the footsteps of the old man following behind them. "Oh no, he's found where we are!" And Eliana lifted the shell to her ear and she could hear it say, "Crawl through the tunnel." Just then, Eliana looked to her right and she saw a tunnel right there. So Eliana said, "Come on, Brady, we gotta go." And as they both started crawling through it, they found that the tunnel began to shrink. So it was just barely big enough for them to get through, but too small for the old man to follow. The two kids emerged on the other side. They were out of breath, but they were safe. And they could hear the old man's frustrated yells echoing behind them. No! Oh, come on! But he didn't know where they had gone. Eliana held the shell up to her ear once again as it said, "He's trapped by his own greed, unable to see the beauty and magic of this place. Don't worry about him. He will never bother you again." And now that they knew the danger was gone, they turned around and went right back into the cave, and they kept exploring. And as they were walking through the cave, they started to find clues about the legendary Captain Riptide. That's right, the same captain who had buried his treasure in their backyard. And they found his old journals and faded maps and trinkets from distant lands, which told the story of a brave explorer whose heart remained forever tied to the sea. And the more they learned about Captain Riptide, the more Eliana and Brady felt a connection to him, almost as if they had known each other in some other life. And as dawn approached, the shell spoke to Eliana one more time and said, "You have uncovered your heritage, child, for you are the heirs of Captain Riptide and the ones whom the treasure was intended for. You have protected the magic, but now it is time to return me to the sea where I belong. But remember, the key you hold unlocks more than doors. It unlocks your destiny." Eliana and Brady were amazed. They never expected to find out that the legendary Captain Riptide was actually their great-great-great-grandfather. It's almost like the pieces of this mystery were fitting together too perfectly. But that's what happens when you have a magical shell that guides you every step of the way. So Eliana and Brady went home and slept hard that night, and the next morning, with a heavy heart, Eliana returned to the shore. She held the shell close and whispered a thank you for its guidance and protection. She waded out into the water with the shell in her hand until she got right to the same place where she first discovered it, and then she gently tossed it into the waves, watching it disappear as it sunk beneath the water. With a feeling of both joy and sadness in her heart at the same time, And as she turned to leave, she felt a sense of closure. And on top of that, she had a key in her pocket that would unlock countless adventures in the days to come. And yet, as she walked up the beach and away from the shore, something made her look back. And there by the water, she saw another girl standing there, even younger than Eliana was, her eyes wide with wonder as she reached into the water and pulled out the shell. Eliana's heart skipped a beat as she saw the girl hold the shell to her ear, just as she had done not so long ago. Eliana realized the journey of the shell was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. She could feel a silent bond with the younger girl. Even though they had never met, Eliana had some idea of the path she was about to take. With a bittersweet smile, Eliana turned away and kept walking home, her mind racing with possibilities of where the key might take her and the adventures that lied ahead. And as she walked away, the image of the younger girl with the shell kept running through her mind. It was a reminder that there was plenty of magic and mystery in the world, just waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to listen. Do you ever find yourself wondering when the next episode is going to come out for the Storyland podcast? I know they don't come out as much as we all want them to, but if you want to be the first to know about when the next story is going to drop, all you got to do is follow us on Instagram or Facebook, or just go to storyland.show, and you'll find links to all the different places online where you can listen and watch, and even leave a comment and make suggestions about other story ideas that you might have. Just go to storyland.show, or again, you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Just search for Storyland, all one word, podcast. Storyland Podcast, and you should be able to find us there. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.